So up at the top it says, how do we solve multi-step equations to solve real-life problems? Okay? So, like I said during warm-up, we're going to take the very simple equations that we had last time. That was like class and time stuck together. Last time, and we're going to add things like parentheses to it. We're going to add things like combining like terms, distributing, all those kinds of things to it. So, what I want you guys to do is we're going to start with this exploration here. So I want you guys in your table groups to make sure and read the directions first. Okay, so read the directions first together with your groups. And then go ahead and do... Just do A and C. Okay? Just do A and C together with your groups. Go ahead. Okay, so let's talk here. So directions tell me the sum of the angles. What's sum mean? Add them all up. So I want to add all the angles together. And since this is a triangle, it should equal 180, right? So it doesn't really matter what order you have the angles in. So if your order doesn't match mine, that's okay. So I'm going to just start with 30 plus x. It's an ugly 3, so I'll restart. 30 plus x plus my second angle, which I'm just going to say is 9x, plus my third angle, which I'm going to say is 30, equals 180. So a big mistake a lot of you made that I just want to address really quick. You looked at this 30 plus x up here, and you said that that was 30x. Why is that wrong? Yeah, show me. Shalimar. Yeah, got it. What? They're not like terms, right? 30 and x are not like terms. So I can't combine them together to make 30x. So just be careful with that. So now, when I am combining like terms here, I have x and 9x. That makes 10x. I have 30 and 30. That makes plus 60. And then that equals 180. Okay? From there, I'm solving. So if I'm doing stuff on the same side, I'm just simplifying stuff together, right? As soon as I start going opposite sides of the equal sign, that's when I start doing my opposite operations. So I have to subtract 60 from both sides. So I have 10x equals 120. I divide by 10 on both sides, and I get x is 12. Woo. Yeah. Some happiness going on. This is what I'm talking about. You guys aren't boring anymore. You're getting happy. Okay, good. Let's go to C. Okay, so C actually has 4 angles, right? It's a quadrilateral. So since it's a quadrilateral, we're adding to 360. All right. So now I'm going to add up all of my sides. So I'm going to start with 50. How about? So I start with 50. Plus the 2x plus 30, plus 2x plus 20. Again, order doesn't matter. Plus my last x. And that should equal 360 this time. Okay? So now let's go ahead and combine like terms. So you got to be careful when you're combining like terms. Okay, so we have 2x. We have 2 more x's, that's 4. We have 1 more x, that's 5x. Now let's do my numbers. So I have 50, 30, that's 80. And 20 makes 100. So that equals 360. Okay? I subtract 100 from both sides. So I have 5x equals 260. I divide by 5. And that's 52. Yep, that's right. So x is 52 there. Okay. So do we see how combining like terms, we haven't gotten into distribution yet, but we will, makes our life a little more complicated. Okay? You just have to take it step by step. So let's look at what that step by step, let's put some words to that step by step so you can kind of rehearse them and think about them as you're doing it. Okay? So let's go to page 2. Okay, we're going to skip over the try these for sake of time. Let's just go to the core concept. So we talked about combining like terms a lot already. We talked about it during warm-up, right? Apples and apples. What were the 2 sames that have to be true? Same variable. Good. And some of you said the same exponent. Okay. So x's and x squareds don't mix. X's and regular old numbers don't mix. Okay, so you got to keep track of that. Again, since we did a lot on warm-up, I'm not going to do these examples here. Let's just go to the bulk of our lesson. Okay, you will hear me say this only about 500,000 bajillion times. Okay, as we are doing this, when we see stuff meaning terms, on the same side, that's when we are going to simplify. So same side, simplify. All of your English teachers would love my alliteration. Isn't that what it's called? Alliteration? It's all the same number? Letter? Okay. And then opposite side, opposite operation. Okay, so same side, simplify, opposite operation. That's what we're going to focus on, okay? And that's why last time, remember, I kind of coached you up a little bit and said I prefer to put the line down the equal sign. If you make sure and put that line down the equal sign, it is very clear to you when you are simplifying on the same side and when you are going to opposite sides and you need to do your opposite operations. Okay, so let's look at a couple examples here. So example number 5. Actually, let's just skip over 5 and let's look at 6. Okay, so I'm going to put my line down my equal sign. I'm going to start with same side simplify. Sorry, my nose is itching. All right, I'm better. Okay, so let's start with same side simplify. Are there any like terms on the same side of the equal sign that I can simplify? Yes, sir.
5z and 2z.
5z and 2z. So what is 5z minus 2z? 3z. Sounds like we're singing a Snoop Dogg song. No? Okay, a couple pity laughs, thank you. All right, so I'm going to bring down my minus 4. Actually, wait, time out, pause. Negative 4 and negative 7, those are like terms, right?
Yeah.
So why am I not combining those?
No clue.
They're on opposite sides, right? So same side simplify, opposite side, opposite operation. I cannot simplify and combine like terms if they are not on the same side. Okay, so I just bring down my negative 4 or minus 4 equals negative 7. So now I've done all of my same side simplify. Excuse me. And let's go ahead and do my opposite side, opposite operation. So to get rid of negative 4, how do I get rid of it? Add it, right? So I'm going to add 4. So I have 3z equals negative 7 plus 4 would be negative 3. Divide, ooh, that doesn't look like a 3. There we go. Divide by 3 on both sides. And I end up with z equals negative 1. Yes, I put those weird little slashes through my z's so you know they're not 2's. Okay. Any questions there? So same side simplify. That's what you always want to start with first. Then move to opposite side, opposite operation. Okay? So let's go ahead and do those two try these problems. Okay, so try these 7 and 8 together with your groups. Go ahead. All right, let's go ahead and look at number 7. So same side simplify. I have like terms of 12x and 2x is 14x. Bring down your plus 4 equals 39. I'm going to kind of go through these a little bit fast. So if I ever go too fast, please slow me down. Okay? Subtract 4 from both sides. So now I'm doing my opposite side, opposite operation. So 14x equals what? 35. Okay, divide by 14 on both sides. What divides into 35 and 14 both?
2.5.
7.
I was going with the answer. Oh!
Nothing.
7, thank you. All right, so I'm going to divide 7 on top and bottom. So I end up with 5 over. Why did I say 5 and wrote 3? Struggle. All right, 5 over 2. Got it. Okay.
Got it. What? That's still 2.5.
What?
That's still 2.5.
Mixed numbers are for baking. No, the only reason I say that, to be real, the only reason I say that is because in math, or in any kind of upper level math, if you turn if you turn it into a mixed number, right? If you turn it into a mixed number like 2.5, and you want to do anything mathematically with it, what do you have to do first? You got to convert it back to an improper fraction. Okay? So mixed numbers, I like to say, are for baking, just to be funny, but, you know. All right. All right, so combining like terms, I have 9z minus 4z. That is 5z. Bring down my minus 5. Bring down my negative 5 on the other side. So I'm going to do an opposite operation and add 5 to both sides. I end up with 5z equals 0. Divide by 5. And 0 divided by anything is? 0. Dunzo. Okay, any questions there? All right. Page 3. Okay, so on page 3, we throw something into problems 9 and 10 that we have not thrown in before. What do you see there that you have not seen in other problems? Okay, parentheses, what's your name, bud? What's your name? Yeah.
Oh, Garrett?
Garrett. So Garrett said the distributive property. Remember doing that on warm-up? When we have parentheses, we have to distribute the number in front of it into the parentheses. Okay, let's just go ahead and do number 9. Okay, so do number 9 together with your groups. Go ahead. For it. Oops, pen. There we go. Okay, so I need to distribute first. And I'm taking this negative 3 because that's what's sitting in front of the parentheses. You do want to take the sign with it. So 33 is going to hang out. 12r is going to hang out. Negative 3 times 9 is negative 27. A negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times r is just 3r. Okay? I still want to combine like terms before I do anything else. So 12r and 3r makes 15r. That was my goal. All right. So the 33 is going to hang out front. Everybody watching the video is going to be like, what was that? Awkward pause. All right. 12r and 3r makes 15r minus 27. Okay. Now that I've simplified as much as I can, now I'm going to do my opposite operations. So I add 27 to both sides. That makes what? 60 equals 15r. Divide by 15. And r is 4. Do we need some explanation?
No.
Yeah, where? Okay, my guess is if you made a mistake, it's probably right here on the sign. Yeah? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe. Anybody have questions? You okay to move forward? Okay. All right, let's look at application. Okay, so these word problems are going to be, we're going to be setting up equations just like we did before. We have to first work through and identify what we're looking for and what information we're given. Okay? So it says, let me get my highlighter. Your school's drama club borrowed $400. What's it mean when you borrow money?
Take it.
You're taking it, but what do you have to do?
Give it back.
You have to give it back. You have to pay it back, right? Okay, so it says then they charged $4 a person. That's good because they're making money on that. And ended up with a profit of $100. Quick 20 seconds in your group. Quick 20 seconds in your group. Explain to each other what profit means. Go ahead. It's not as simple as making money. Okay, talk to me. What's profit? Yes, ma'am. Okay, so you got to figure in your expenses in order to figure profit, right? So let me throw another word at you, revenue. Revenue and profit are two different things. So I'll use the example she said. You spend $400 on materials, okay? You sell something for $500. Your revenue is $500 because you sold it for $500. Your profit after figuring in expenses would just be $100, okay? So it wants me to. So it now asks me how many people came to see the play. So that's what I'm going to make my x. So I'm going to say x is the number of people. Now I'm going to create my equation. Okay. So the total profit is $100. Okay, and that $100 equals the money I made. So how much money did I make?
500.
How am I bringing in money?
The $4.
The $4 per person. Okay, so $4 per person is going to be my 4x. And then what do I do with the money I borrowed? I'm going to subtract it off in order to find profit, right? So I would have to subtract off this 400. Okay, now I have my equation. Now I'm ready to solve, but I'm not going to solve for sake of time. Okay, because we're running low on time. Oh, wait. This is not the 58 block. This is the 05 block, right?
Okay.
Okay, so I can solve it. So I would add 400 to both sides. So I have 500 equals 4x. I would divide by 4 on both sides. And I end up with x equals, what's that going to be, 75? No, 125. No, not dollars. Oh my gosh. Everything's falling apart. Okay, 125 people. Okay, so 125 people came. All right, I'm going to give you about 4 minutes to do the 2 try these problems. And let me just give you a little pointer. For number 13, draw a picture. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to do 12 and 13. For number 13, draw a picture. All right, rock and roll. Go ahead.
Pretty sure it's 30.
Okay, let's look at 12. Okay, let's look at 12. So I'm doing landscaping, right? It wants me to know how many flat of flowers I'm doing, so I'll say X is the flats. Do you put an E on that? No, just flats. Okay. So flats of flowers. So how much does Grandma give me total? $50. Remember, I always want my total on one side. So 50 equals, what do you buy for $50?
25.
25 what? What?
$25.
You buy mulch. How many times do you buy mulch? Once. So a single 25 plus how many flats of flowers?
10.
Well, we don't know at this point, right? So 2.5x. Okay? I can solve down. I'm not going to take the time to, and I get x equals what? 10 flats. Okay? All right, let's look at 13. So I draw myself a picture. It says I have a dog pen that's a rectangle. Okay? It says one side is 3 times as long, or it's 3 times as long as it is wide. So I don't know either one, so I'm just going to start with an x. Okay? So I'm going to call this side x. If it says it's 3 times as long as it is wide, what would that make my length if the width is x? What?
36.
Nope.
12.
Nope.
48.
Nope. Stop giving me numbers. Yes, sir. 3x. Right? So if this is x, and this is 3 times that, this side's going to be 3x. So I know opposite sides are the same on a rectangle. And now I can add them all up. Okay? So when you read 96 feet of fencing, when you read the word fencing, what should you think automatically? Perimeter. So I'm adding up all the sides. Okay? And when I add up all the sides, it should equal 96. So 96 equals, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 x's. Okay, divide by 8. I get x is what? 12? So 12. Is 12 the answer? It wants the dimensions, right? So I need, it's going to be 12 wide feet, I guess I should put in there, and 36 feet long. Okay, so 12 feet wide, 36 feet long. Okay? All right. I'm going to trust that you know how to find your preparation. I am going to ask you to open it right now. Okay? So get it open, get it into Notability, then you can put your iPad away because we have like a minute. Okay?